Welcome to another This Week in Disney YouTube with Theme Park Conductor. Today we're reacting to Brickey and Dave from Fresh Baked. You know, this is an all West Coast edition between myself and Conductor being Californians. We got Brickey and Dave, Californians. It's all West Coast, baby. We are talking all about Coco. We are talking all about just there's so much going on. You know, we'll break it down up next here on OG50.
I ain't got nothing to say but West Side.
Welcome aboard, everybody, to another episode of OG55. I got Conductor with me today. We are reacting to Dave from Fresh Baked, Brickey. We're talking downtown Disney, Portos, the ticket booth destruction, Coco, all kinds of crazy stuff happening with the Coco construction. But before we dive in, Conductor, welcome back, sir.
Absolutely. It's always great to be on Orange Grove 55 and our new series on Orange Grove 55 this week in Disney. It's been a very solid series, and I cannot wait to do more content with you on this series because it seems like it's just an absolute hit. And I want to thank not only you for being an amazing host, but everybody that watches this new series. It's a great time filming this content. I love it. But you can find me on YouTube and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor, on Instagram at theme_park_conductor, on X at Theme Conductor, TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1, and every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we have amazing guests like the one and only Orange Grove 55 and the Orange Grove 55 family. We also have other amazing guests as well as we break down Disney and Universal news. We speculate, we talk rumors, and we interact with the chat. The chat interacts with us. It's a great time. Come see it sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. I will be linking it down below in the description, and also near the subscribe button, Conductor's channel will pop up. It's a new feature here on YouTube that we absolutely love, and we make use of it all the time. And yeah, the OG55 family is always over here on Conductor's channel. This upcoming week, he's got Sam Chat coming on, right? I know Jared from Capture the Magic has been on your channel a lot. So the OG fam is on Conductor's channel a lot. So you don't want to miss it. Make sure you subscribe to Mr. Theme Park Conductor. All right, here we go, Mr. Conductor. We got Dave. We're going to start with Dave from Fresh Baked. Brand new video. End of an era for Disneyland. Disneyland construction update for January 2025. This is pretty gnarly. If you love these ticket booths, well, it's a tough day. But it's a tough day. They've seen better days for sure. But we're gonna go ahead and play the video, and you know the drill. If there's anything you want to stop along the way, let me know. Here we go.
Sure.
That crunching sound signals a dramatic turn this week at the Disneyland ticket booths, while another project has taken a small step forward and is starting to gain momentum. These changes point to Disney's priorities in the short term and can change how downtown Disney develops from here. What's next for the ticket booths in downtown Disney? We're going to let you know in this week's Disneyland construction update. And that small change that we talked about in that intro starts here on Catella and Disneyland Drive. We've been following this progress closely. And last week we saw the fence go up. This week we see that fence, it looks like they've extended the fence into the actual proper backstage area. You can see that fence now. So they're creating a path. They're creating a direction for, I'm assuming, vehicles or something to move back and forth between the space. This is cool. This is critical because these two spaces, that means, are becoming one. The trees and the backstage area are going to become one. There's not going to be any sort of definition or separation between the two. The path to that or down Disneyland Drive is still blocked off, so we're going to have to go across the street once more. There is a longer view of the entire fenced off area.
And I do want to bring this up because we've been speculating, as fans since they announced this thing, how are they going to fit this thing behind the Incredicoaster? What are they going to have to work to kind of get this in? I never really considered how much space was out here by the street. And I've said this before, I think in videos with you, Conductor, but it's like, look, I mean, is it a huge amount of space? No, but when you factor in an acre here, an acre there, it does make a difference, and this is a pretty good chunk. So this will help out with this Coco, boat ride. So, we'll see. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, by far. One of the things I'm looking at is once they start building out, what are they going to do with the street? And I'm glad you paused it here because I mentioned this on a live stream that you and today leaving today's podcast were part of, or I think we're a part of their channel. And I happened to mention this because we were talking about it at the time. Was so the fence you see here, it's now blocking that crosswalk of that side, so you can't even walk down that side anymore. So what I'm wondering with the street is, because I think each lane, or at least this lane closest to us, is like 3 or 4 lanes, because you got 2 turning lanes and then 2 regular lanes, and then on the other side you have, I think, 2 turning lanes, or I mean 2 lanes, and then 1 turning lane going into the parking area, the Simba parking lot. I'm wondering if they're going to shrink the street, down a little bit, kind of resize it, knowing that they would have to now re-add a new crosswalk for that side, and they have to have a backstage road that goes backstage. That's what I'm curious about, if they're going to do that or not.
I am too. I'm very curious how this works into the bigger equation. That's a great question. Absolutely.
Those trays that we've been walking for the past few weeks. Not much to see here, but there is going to be something to be seen in a little bit. Stay tuned because we got some great pictures from a friend of the show. This is the left ear off Disneyland Drive, and there's a look across the street at the right ear.
Uh-oh.
If we go up to the top of the Pixar Place Hotel, we can see what's happening. I asked about this last week. I said, hey, guys, if you're in the Pixar Place Hotel, let me know. Get some photos. I was going to go up there myself, but I'm sort of averse to doing things that doesn't look like Disney wants me to do. They had security stationed at the elevator, so I didn't, because I think you have to have a room key to use those elevators, which is different from other hotels at Disneyland. But nonetheless, we're going to lean on these pictures from front of the show, Critter Club, and this first shot is looking straight down at that right Mickey ear, and you can see right there they have begun taking out the landscaping. Those bushes are gone. This is the bushes that we talked about last week or the week before, when somebody had said that it looks like they may have started already. Well, if they didn't then, they have now. Bushes have been taken out. It has begun. Landscape removal has begun on the other side of those fences, and it's starting right here at the right Mickey ear. Here's a closer look, and you can see definitely they have taken out. I mean, matter of fact, even part of that circular hedgerow has been taken out, and you can see that they have been walking back
and really this whole like Mickey face thing, hidden Mickey thing, is really cool from looking at it from the aerial shots down, or like on Google Maps or whatever. But it's a novelty thing that most people don't even know. When you're on the ground, you don't even realize it's a Mickey face, right? I'm personally fine with losing that to get a better Coco attraction. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. And I love that they're starting out with the shrubbery removal, but I think what's going to get really like people excited is once they see an excavator or some type of heavy machinery in this area. Once we start seeing actual construction vehicles in this area, then we know serious deconstruction is going to go down. Serious.
Yep. Well said. And this is the stuff I love, and you love this. Like, we love, a lot of fans get upset with construction walls and what have you. I love it, dude. I love the change. I love the progress and the evolution of these parks. It's part of the fun of being a fan, I think, so.
Absolutely. Through there, removing all that stuff. So that's a big deal. That is a really big deal that things are happening. Not as much, nothing has been moved down on that farther end as we look in the long direction towards Disneyland Drive, or I'm sorry, towards Catella. But then here back again at the intersection of Disneyland Drive and that access road to the service road to backstage, you can see again there they have taken out some of that landscaping nearest to that fence. So that is a very clear signal that.
Is there any way you can go back to where it shows that metal plate on the road real quick? I'm just curious about some. Okay, right there. I'm wondering, since they have those metal plates on the ground, I wonder if they've already dug into the road right there for conduit or something. Because why would you put metal boards there?
I
Why is
agree.
that necessary?
They probably have already started digging in.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Okay.
You can see again there, they have taken out some of that landscaping nearest to that fence. So that is a very clear signal that this part of the project is gaining momentum, that things are moving forward, and we're starting to see action happening, if only just at the beginning part of there with the landscaping, but action is happening towards building Coco. More action happening here than we'll see later on when we get on the Pixar Pal Around. Definitely this is where the action is happening. Let's get on the Pixar Pal Around and check out backstage in Avengers Infinity Defense, where it looks like we're kind of still stuck in that same build out phase, just filling in steel, filling in there's still truss on the ground. They're still building that up, but it does feel like it's starting to get a little more dense inside there. I feel like there is more steel on the ground than perhaps there was in weeks past. And I do think, if I'm not mistaken, I see some additional steel on top of the truss. We're going to get a closer look, but that does look like something's happening on the roof there of Avengers Infinity Defense. But let's, for now, take our gaze towards the Coco buildings. These are the backstage buildings that they're going to be removing or moving in order to make room for the Coco attraction. And there's very little to no action at all. As a matter of fact, we can run these two scenes side by side this week and last week, and they look almost identical. So there's no action happening backstage, ODV storage buildings, etc. This looks exactly as we left it from that angle. We're going to try to peek over the screen tubes there at Incredicoaster, and I see things being just about as they were last week as well. So this part of the project is still kind of stalled at the moment. Not that I expected big movement here, but with the fact that we've got tree removal happening on Disneyland Drive suggests that we're at least around the corner and on the way to something happening backstage here. And before we exit the Pixar Pal Around, I guess we should go take a look at the Avengers restroom that they're building. And it does look like they may have topped off that cinder block. We'll find out in a second. We're going to get on the ground and take a look at those buildings next. But first, I want to see how, there it is. Okay, so that's Avengers Campus from the ground, or I should
see. I'm with you, conductor. And now that you mentioned it, it looks like the entrance to Magic Mountain.
It does. It does. And it looks awful.
It's ugly. Yeah, these metal, like trellises, I guess they're called, or whatever. I don't know. I'm not.
I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get it. They're trying to, because Tony Stark Flight Lab, they're trying to make an industrial, theming. I get that, but these things are just, oh my gosh. And then I know, even at work, and it's kind of sad when we build a new Costco, or there's a new Walmart, or a new Sam's Club, or Target, or so on. And, after a while, you start seeing like dust, like thick dust on like the beams and stuff like that. It's like, are we going to start seeing that with this eventually? Like after a year or so, and then you see like all these dirty, not even white, steel for the roofing for Stark Fly Labs. Now it's going to look all black and nasty. It's like, I don't know.
That's a huge concern. It is, and that's a great point that you bring up, because what this reminds me of is kind of a similar situation we have with the Incredicoaster, with the white steel beams and all that, right? And look how those look.
Oh, it looks, god awful.
hideous, right? I mean, yeah, man, I never even thought about that, but you're right. I really hope they don't let these go. I mean, they're lower to the ground than the Incredicoaster stuff is,
Sure.
kind of, but
But
like still,
it's gonna be exposed to the elements
exactly.
unless they have a way of when you look at the concept art and you can kind of see in the frame here, if they have kind of like this glass retractable door that closes off the attraction when it's not open. Same thing with Infinity Defense. If they do, which I doubt they will, because I'm sure that's super expensive, but so these two entrances for both attractions are going to be exposed. And like I said, that's what I'm worried about with this trust system. That again, I think they contacted Six Flags to find out where they built that from, the materials, and they bought it from the same vendor. But yeah,
Oh,
after a year or so, I don't know how I'm going to feel walking underneath that, and all I see is just like either dust or just like the beams not even white anymore. They're like a dirt beige or just black. It's going to be very
I
unappealing to me.
they got to maintain it. No, you're 100% correct on that.
Say Avengers Infinity Defense from the ground, and just looking right underneath, there it is. That's new steel. I believe
no.
that new steel is the beginnings of the actual roof to this building. The truss is not the roof. The truss is below. If you look at the concept art, there's actual steel making a rectangular shape in that right corner of the concept art. I believe that's what they're beginning to build right there. We'll find out. We're going to see in the future weeks as that steel grows out more towards the rest of the truss system and more towards the proper entrance of the attraction. Meanwhile, if you look through that existing structure, the structure of Avengers Infinity Defense through the browner steel, you can see on the back side there's that gray steel. This is something we noticed when we were looking at it from the hotel, and they're building the shell that's about to wrap that building, and then they're going to start putting up sheathing, etc., on that shell. This is a signal that we are closing out. We are finishing the vertical stage of construction, and they're going to start to envelop this building, closing the building off so that they can tighten things up, and start working on the interiors of the building. So that's a good sign right there of moving into that envelope stage, which is great because we have been rather stalled at Avengers Infinity Defense. Let's go out to Harbor, or more directly, Disney Way. We took you guys on a walking tour of the sidewalks around the parking lot where they're going to be building the cast member parking lot, where they're going to build eventually the Eastern Gateway parking lot for guests. This is Disney Way. And we took you on a walking tour of all that space up there on the left that runs parallel to the parking structure, looking for paint and other symbols. I came back this week just to see if there's any development, but there isn't too much to be seen. I believe we're going to be probably a few months away from anything visible happening here. We'll drive by from time to time and check these things out to see if there's any progress. But for now, let's get to something really interesting.
Oh man,
I wish I was there that day.
oh me too.
Look at that. Oh my god, that crunching sound! I love it.
I know, I do too. I love it. I love that's the sound of hey, we're getting something new, right? I mean, it is, and it's crazy to me how that building can sit there for 25 years. It's been there since 2001, and within a minute and a half, this thing can come in and just take it down. It's crazy to me, but I'm excited. I'm excited. The ticket booths are not really something that we talked about it before, but we don't really need ticket booths, at least this many of them in this new digital age that we live in. It's a waste of space. And it's also, this is the beginning of cleaning up and improving upon the Esplanade. Our friend Danny from Five Fires, he's been sounding the alarm on how bad the Esplanade has looked for a long time. And he's right. And this creeps into the Esplanade enough where this will improve this little corner of the space. And then on the other side, we're going to have the Eastern Gateway and the Sky Bridge. That'll improve that side. And so little by little, the Esplanade is getting its improvement thing. So I think it's fantastic. I love it.
I do love demo. I do love watching a building getting torn down. I don't know what. Even if it's something as important and as historic as the classic Disneyland ticket booths. Note, by the way, it's just the 2 on the right. The other 6 ticket booths are still standing. They have
one thing too that I don't, and this is going to probably get me a lot of heat, but that's okay. I'm going to say how I really feel regardless. One thing that I think Michael Eisner, like his era, went a little too far with was the Mickey Mouse ears everywhere.
That, and I kind of felt like those the pastel colors, like that
Yes.
light blue, the gold,
The
yellow,
teal.
teal, a little too much for my taste.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. And I'm just like, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm fine with getting rid of these.
not taken those down yet. It's just ticket booths 7 and 8, obviously, so they can build that enormous Portos that is on the way. We missed it, obviously, because we were in Arizona at the time, but I did find an excavator on site doing work of its own. It's tearing out something in the back there. It looks like.
And see what this does is they're tearing out trees, they're tearing out lanterns, right? Lamp poles. Well, they're not gonna replace those lamp poles with these kind of lamp posts. Like these designs are like from 25 years ago. And downtown Disney has moved away from that original garden motif. So I think this whole project with Portos is really going to signal also a lot new, a lot like the newer style when it comes to like the lighting and what have you. They're probably going to like remove some of these other ones in the area to kind of match what the lighting fixtures look like in front of Porto. So that's also very exciting. And again, this is very nerdy stuff we're talking about, but it gets me going. I love this shit, you know?
Something on the ground, perhaps. Notice, by the way, that the ticket booths are not fully demoed yet. They're still kind of standing. It's just the roof that they seem to have taken down on both 7 and 8. You can see the building is still extending over that construction wall. I came back a little bit later and did find the excavator. It looks like he's taking out a tree. Oh boy. Okay, so that's something. I didn't know that they used excavators to take out trees, but it does seem to be what he's doing. As a matter of fact, we're going to come back to this a little later. It's very dramatic. It's sort of a small thing, but it's another signal towards quick progress happening. We're going to jump on the monorail for the moment first to see how things look from above if we can. Tough to see on this day because of the rain on the glass. It was hard to focus, but there you can see them working on that back area back there. This is where we saw them before with the trees. They're taking out everything along that back wall. You can also see lots of debris on the ground from the demo of the ticket booths, but no demo has happened yet on the actual Earl's or La Brea Bakery building. All of that is still intact, though I don't expect that'll last for very long. When I arrived at the scene at about, I want to say 9:30, I'm looking at the building. I'm like, okay, nothing's happening yet at La Brea or at Earl's. Nothing is going on there. The demo has been, limited to just the ticket booths. But this is a symbol. This is a cue of how quickly things are moving here at this site, because I came back just a couple hours later.
I want to bring this up because I think a lot of people that probably have watched this video, I haven't looked at all his comments for this video, but people are probably wondering, well, if you're going to demo the building, why are you putting scaffolding up? There's a reason behind that. I think there's a reasoning behind it, because instead of expanding the construction walls, because right now, literally to the right of this, so my right, you have the entrance to the World of Disney store, and also you have the crowd flow coming from downtown Disney into the Esplanade, and also you have people going this way as well to get on the trams to go back to Mickey and Friends or Pixar Pals parking structure. So what I think they're doing is they're going to put scaffolding up all across the front of this former La Brea Bakery building. Then they're going to put scrim up. As soon as they do that, then we're going to see the excavator at some point tear into this building and level it. The reason why I'm saying with the scaffolding and the green scrim is because usually you'll see it with demo that you'll see the excavator and you'll see one or two guys with a hose spraying as the excavator is ripping the building apart because they're trying to eliminate dust from going into the air and shooting towards people, especially these people right here. So I think that's why they're putting scaffolding up. I could be 100% wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing because I've seen it before where we saw it with when they're ripping down the AMC theater, the other Earl Sandwich location, the second location at downtown Disney. We actually saw the construction walls come way out, and they had another construction vehicle that kind of looks like it has like a big arm, and it kind of has that forklift. And I know a forklift because I drive one at Costco, but it has that forklift hand to it where it has the mass and then the two forks. Well, they had it lifted up, and they had this big scrim hanging off of it, and they had the excavators ripping down the AMC building, and they had that one crane vehicle holding up the scrim with probably several guys hosing the building and the debris off as it's getting ripped apart so the dust doesn't go flying everywhere to minimize the dust debris. So I think that's what they're doing here.
Great observation, and you're probably right on that. That's a really good. I mean, look, it makes sense, right? It 100% makes sense, and we can see from the artwork that this building ain't gonna look like this. You know, this Porto's is like 4 times the size, so they're gonna get rid of it. And you're right. This might be to prevent that dust from getting, from blowing over, into the crowd and what have you. So that's a great observation.
After having been in the park, and they put scaffolding up. in a couple hours, they had put scaffolding up at Earl's Sandwich, and that's obviously a signal that they're getting ready to start demoing this building as well. Which is curious, though, as you think about it, because I feel like why not just take the excavator to that building? But perhaps they want to preserve some parts or do something that's more precise than just taking an excavator to it. Let me take a quick moment to talk about Getaway Today, our preferred travel affiliate. If you are looking to make plans to go to the Disneyland Resort, if you're looking to take advantage of that amazing ticket offer, the 3-day California park hopper for like 50% off, contact Getaway Today. You can buy those tickets from them. There's a link in the description. Use Getaway Today. You won't be sorry. They are so kind and so knowledgeable. They are the best in the business, and we would love it if you joined or used Getaway Today. Let them know we sent you. I hope you guys have a great visit to Disneyland. I will also note, when I arrived at 9:30 this morning, I found this queue.
Wow.
Those guests that you're seeing right now in frame is the back of the queue to get into the park. That's the gate. Those are the far left gates. If you don't believe me, I will take you on a walk through this entire queue. Never in my life, I'm fond of saying this because there are things that I just have never seen before. This is a scene that never in my life have seen on these far left queues. I've seen it. I've seen the back of the queue hit DCA from the proper Esplanade, but never have I seen the far left gates.
Wow. But why though? Like, I don't understand. Like, why?
He's getting into it right now. Play a little bit more.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Reach the lengths that they have. Astounding the size of the people that we found here on this morning. So much so that we did a video. I believe it's already been published already. It's a video related to the effect of the discounted ticket and what happened to crowds on this day. If you didn't watch it, I suggest you do. It was amazing. It was fun. We had a great time going through the park on that day. Let's, though, again, take a look at, we've got another update from the ticket booths and Earl's Sandwich building. Again, I came back a few hours later again. I was here most of the day, so I got to watch things sort of.
What was that?
So they ripped all those trees off. So
They
there's no
did.
more trees. And they got rid of that kind of like ivy wall that was attached to that back wall right there.
Yeah, isn't it crazy how how like sometimes you don't even like consciously notice things, but when it's gone, you really notice them, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. And see, this is what I'm talking about too. Like, see these lampposts and stuff? They're gonna get rid of all that stuff. Even if
Yeah,
they're not behind a construction wall, eventually those are gonna go.
yeah, it screams Bugs Land to me.
Yeah, oh, big time. Absolutely.
Progress evolve in real time. That's where we saw the excavator before, and we saw him tearing out trees. There were trees there. All those trees are gone. Not only are the trees gone, but that there was a, I don't know if it was fake or real, but there was like a green ivy like veneer on top
Right.
over that brown wall. That's been removed as well. So they have made quick progress in getting rid of that scene. And again, this is important because it signals to us that they are already moving into the well, they are in the demo phase, and then they're going to be in site prep. They're going to the Earl of Sandwich building will probably be gone within a couple of weeks, is my guess. The Earl of Sandwich building will be gone, and then that's when they're going to start grading all the dirt down there and getting it ready for site prep, getting it ready for vertical construction. Now, that's the slowest portion. That's the slowest, most boring phase of construction is what I call the dirt phase. I don't know if that's an industry term. It's a term in my book, but we'll be in the dirt phase very soon. All right, we promised earlier that we're going to go take a look at the restrooms. We're going to go through Carsland. By the way, much busier street here in Carsland than we saw last week. Very, very busy day in the parks today in spite of the rain. There is the restroom. We're still in that cinder block phase, but you can see as we approach that they appear to have reached the max, because in the previous weeks we saw a lot of vertical rebar, and there is still some to the left. As we get closer, you can see that vertical rebar on the left. They have filled that spot with cinder block to the right, so they're getting near to finishing the overall frame of this building. So while this project is not as sexy as some of the other projects we watched, it is exciting to see this situation sort of come to a finish. We're getting closer to the finish line here, and it won't be long, I don't think, before we see those walls come down and I guess might be able to go back and forth between Carsland and Avengers Campus.
And
let's check out.
And I'm sorry, and we talked about this before, but I find it really weird. They're building another bathroom so close to the other bathroom that's right across the way by Pim's,
Yeah. And I
yeah.
found this very interesting. The one by Pim's, between Pim's and the Spider-Man attraction, Web Slingers, that's a bathroom that was originally left over from Bugs Land.
Right.
And on top of that, this thing, so this is pretty interesting because there was a permit for this before they started construction, or just as they were starting construction, for April of 2026. So between now and April, probably sometime in March when I'm out in Walt Disney World, I almost can guarantee it, they're going to have this bathroom and this pathway reopened, because this bathroom, like I said, the permit was it expires in April. So I'm assuming anytime between now and April, we're going to see this bathroom and this pathway reopened, and the construction roles for the two Avengers attractions reworked, so that pathway is reopened once again.
Yeah. Oh, good observation. Absolutely. And I bet you that other bathroom eventually goes away. And that bathroom butts up against the animation building. Right.
Yep.
If Disney ever wants to dip into that Hollywood area with the animation building and all that stuff and create like an expansion of Marvel or something else, you bulldoze that restroom and that's your gateway into whatever new thing they put over there in Hollywood. So I don't know. It's just weird to me that these bathrooms are going so close together. I understand that we're getting 2 new attractions. There's going to be more people in this land, but the land is still only like 5 or 6 acres. You don't need 2 bathrooms feet from each other. Something is going on, and they're building this one to get rid of that one eventually, I think.
Yeah.
Some of our remaining projects. There's the new Earl of Sandwich building in downtown Disney. Downtown Disney is evolving quickly and has been for the past couple of years. We're just seeing constant change here, which is pretty exciting. This, though, the Earl of Sandwich building has been stuck in sort of a behind the scrim phase that we can only hear, which you can now hear work happening. There's a cutting tool going on back there, which is good. That's a sign of progress. Good showing this morning at the Parkside Market Cafe. Enjoy your coffees, folks. Lego store, about as we left it last week. They're still working on the concrete below that construction fence. They're still working on that. And they're obviously still working on Tortilla Joe's. No movement here whatsoever at Tortilla Joe's. No movement since, 3 months now. And then just like last week, there are no open construction projects or refurb projects happening at Disneyland. Everything is operational. Everything is working except for the stuff that's coming up after the holidays, which we'll get into in just a minute. But if we take anything from this week's update, it's that things at Downtown Disney, they're not going to look the same. We have now officially left old Downtown Disney, at least in terms of the space by the Esplanade, where La Brea Bakery was and where Earl of Sandwich was, and those ticket booths. That whole scene, that whole vista is going to be forever changed. It's never going to be the same. And we're entering sort of a new era, which is really exciting because I am really looking forward to Portos, as I mentioned in previous updates. I'm really looking forward to that. And while I regret that they have to destroy those ticket booths, it's clear, obviously, as somebody pointed out, people don't buy tickets anymore, not like they used to. Some still do, but not enough to fill 8 ticket booths. There is a new era happening at Downtown Disney, and I feel like it's going to be a significant improvement over what we had in the past. That's the big story this week, and what we're going to be looking forward to next week and in future episodes is removing those trees on Disneyland Drive. Watch for the fence. I mentioned that earlier. The fence removal on Disneyland Drive is going to be a key indicator of how things are going and what we should expect in terms of the evolvement of that backstage area towards Coco. Once they take out that fence, it is no longer outside the park and inside the park. It's going to be all inside the park. Backstage, sort of, for a minute, but then eventually it's going to be theme park.
Yeah.
That fence, when they take it down, it all starts to become theme park. Look for that in future episodes of Fresh Baked. What I want to do right now, though, is close things out with a look at the refurb calendar, because as we mentioned, there are things happening or that are going to be happening at Disneyland. Right now, it's just perfect. But stay tuned for more things happening, including the Mark Twain. That's going to be closing on January 12th, reopening on January 16th. Haunted Mansion also closing on January 12th, reopening on January 23rd. Star Wars Rise of the Resistance will be closing in about 2 weeks on January 20th. We still do not know when it'll reopen. They've just added Oga's now to the refurb calendar. January 20th, that's also closing, but it's only going to be down for 5 days, reopening on January 25th. It's a Small World will close on January 26th. No known date for that, but it usually takes about 2 weeks for them to take down the holiday overlay. And then the Columbia is going to be closing on January 26th as well for 4 days, reopening on January 30th. Over at DCA, Grizzly River Run, by the time you watch this video, it will be closed. I believe today's the 3rd, 4th, 5th. Yeah, it's closing on Monday. No known return date for that, although I would expect it to be at least a month. Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind closing on January 5th, reopening on January 23rd. Incredicoaster will be down a month. Incredicoaster closes on Monday also. That'll reopen on February 6th. Smoke Jumpers Grill. This is fascinating. What are they going to do to Smoke Jumpers Grill? They don't often close dining locations, but they are in fact going to close Smoke Jumpers on January 5th, reopening on January 10th. Same story. They're closing Lamplight Lounge on January 12th. We don't know what they're doing, what's going to be happening there, but it's just 6 days.
There's got to be some sort of like restaurant, like appliance update or something, because we're seeing we're seeing Lamplight, we're seeing Smoke Jumpers, we're also seeing Oga's, right?
Well,
we're updating their kitchens or something. There got to be, right?
Yeah, the kitchens, the appliances, maybe some new training, or just the restaurants in DCA alone, smoke jumpers, lamplight. I have to ask you and pick your brain about this, since
Sure.
you know they're starting construction for Coco, and they're ripping up the plants, the trees, or at least they're starting to, and they're accessing, you know, underground utilities. I wonder if that's what they're going to be doing, and if they access underground utilities for Coco, you know, for the preparation of cocoa. I wonder if that's why we're seeing lamplight go down, see smoke jumpers go down, see emotional whirlwind go down,
And Credit Coaster.
and credit coaster. But in credit coaster, personally, for me, we talked about it earlier. It definitely needs a paint job. It's horrendous. But that could be a possible factor because of utilities they have to access for Coco. So there's a reason behind this. Now with Oga's, that has me interested because, again, good friend of both our channels, Brickey, he did a video a while back talking about how they kind of left Galaxy's Edge for future projects, like that restaurant that we had at the Galactic Star Cruiser, or a third attraction, or other elements. I wonder if it has something to do with that, or maybe Oga's is something to do with utilities, like you know, the tap system or something
Right.
like that. It's only going down for a couple days.
Yeah, and I think this is too. So that's why I think the restaurant stuff, like
Sure.
lamplight, smoke jumpers, and ogas, there's some sort of update, I think,
Yeah.
to like the kitchen stuff that they're doing for all these restaurants. But the
Sure.
Incredicoaster and emotional whirlwind for sure has to be connected to Coco. Has to be.
Oh, it has to.
Yeah,
There's something utility wise they're going to be tapping into, and they don't want to be messing with that type of stuff when, you know, guests are on those attractions.
100%, 100%. So big shout out to Dave from Fresh Baked. As I always do, I'll be linking his information in the description. Obviously, if you're a Disneyland fan, you know Dave from Fresh Baked. I mean, he is an absolute rock star. But if by any chance, if this is your first time seeing Dave's content, make sure you go ahead and support him, subscribe to his content. Great dude, makes a lot of great content. Speaking of great dudes who make a lot of great content, we got our good friend Hey Brickey now up to bat. It's his turn to talk Coco. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Here we go.
Standing on the Main Street train station. Now, I just filmed a video for my other channel, Hey Brickey, and let me tell you, the park is absolutely slammed. But I haven't been here for a while, been out traveling, and I want to take a slow roll out of the park and look at all the new things that have happened while I've been away. And by the way, shout out to the gentleman I just met inside the train station. Super nice guy. And even though the park has been very, very, very packed today, like one of the craziest things I've ever seen, I have bumped into so many nice folks, and it really is always the people that still keep this place magical. All right, let's roll out.
And that's what I love about Brickey. We've both seen him in action, and people recognize him a lot at the parks. He's gotten big. He's a big content creator, and honestly, he spends time with each and every person. If you walk up to Brickey and say, "Hey, man," he will sit there and talk to you and chop it up with you. And I love that, and I respect that about him, because when you get bigger as a creator, it's very easy sometimes for people to just sort of like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" and keep walking.
Yeah.
Brickey doesn't do that. He spends time with each and every person. I love that. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, Brickey actually reminds me of our dear friend in our space, Adam the Woo, that sadly passed away right before Christmas. That's the same mentality that Adam had, you
Yep.
know, that Brickey has. You know, he runs into people all the time at Disneyland, loves talking to his fans, loves talking to other content creators, loves you know, just hanging out. He's a vibes guy like you, so I
Oh, yeah.
love that about him. And he is so knowledgeable. Like I kid you not, when we all had dinner at the Plaza Inn, because he had dinner with us, and that was very kind of him to take some time out to do so. um we were all sitting there talking to him for a good, what, hour and a half,
Oh
and I
yeah.
felt like I learned probably about a year and a half worth of knowledge just by interacting and talking with them, asking his opinions on things. And that's why I'm super excited to announce on this video that yourself, Orange Grove 55, Hey Brickey, and Tommy Toon World will be on a Conductor Sunday live stream in February before I go to Walt Disney World to kind of pick his brain about Walt Disney World since he loves Walt Disney World, but also pick his brain about what's going on at the Disneyland Resort and kind of get his feel of what we're seeing.
Yeah. No, well said. 100%.
And do a slow roll out of the park because it is officially getting too busy to do what I do. I try to be very polite when I'm in the park, when I'm filming. I try not to get into anybody's way. Try to make sure this doesn't ruin anybody's day at Disneyland. And it is slammed. Parade's getting ready to start. People squeezing out the last minute of the holidays. But we're going to take a very long walk out of Disneyland. Because a lot of things have happened. Let's go. I do think that I will come back for at least one more holiday visit. I'd like to come the last night of the holidays, soak it in, kind of get reflective on my amazing holiday season. But first stop, number one, we talked about it a long time ago on this channel. I told you that the ticket booths 7 and 8 would be gone, and they were ripping them out of the park while the park was open, I think a day or so ago. Now, this won't be my full coverage of any of the things that we look at. This is just a casual walk with friends out of the park, checking out all the things that happened. I've basically been away for about a month.
Wow.
And oh my, the top is completely gone. So if you remember, they have these decorative tops, and when I spin around, the tops are completely gone. Now I am recording on my DJI. It's been raining here today. Didn't want to bring out the nice Sony camera, but if you look over the top of the wall, you can see that there's still a little bit of one left. And this is it's bird hour. We're all headed to Fantasyland. So my full analysis coming soon on all of this, but been talking about it for a while on the channel. But now that I know that this is actually happening, one of the things that I plan on doing is going to a Porto's, because I've never been to one before. But I didn't wait to make the journey if it didn't actually happen.
Yeah, Porto's is really, really good. It's great. I mean, yeah, you've been, right? You've been to Porto's?
I have. I went to the one I've actually been to 2 of them. So I actually went to the one by your house where you live at, and the one down the street from Knott's Berry Farm. And I have to tell you, oh my gosh, I was like in pastry heaven.
Yeah.
I tried one item of each. I forgot what it was, but I was like in heaven. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is coming to downtown Disney. This is going to be my new spot right here.
I'm telling you, it's really good. And the one in Burbank, I mean, they always have a long line. You got to queue up for that. It's wild. So this is going to be a massively successful addition to downtown Disney, not just for the food, but even aesthetically. I mean, we've talked about it, I mean, they're really going to have to, they're starting to dig into the other side of downtown Disney and into that Esplanade. And this area needs a lot of work. So it's good to see it happening. Yeah.
Happened because for a long time, this felt kind of suspect, like it wasn't going to show up. But now that it's a real deal, I'm going to Porto's, baby. I got to see what the hype's all about. Wow. The La Brea Bakery got some scrims on it. This is going to all be ripped out soon, and it will go all the way down to the ticket booths. Man, oh man, that's going to really put a massive extension on the footprint that we've seen for downtown Disney for quite some time. Even though this location's going away, kind of the good news is that we won't be short of a place to eat, because the Earl of Sandwich, I'm assuming, is in Earl's mobile home, and then Earl will be showing up at its new location along with some sort of, British-inspired mod club that's going to be down there. So we will be getting 2 new places to eat. When this opens up, then we'll be back to net positive. So even though it's going to be a missing spot right on the edge of downtown with all of the outdoor seating and the deck, because it was like 2 places in one. That will be missed. But as far as like capacity goes, we'll be at the same threshold.
I want to ask you, because he just showed that little piece of the fountain, that flower kind of garden fountain.
Yeah.
What you think that's going to go away? Because I personally think it's going to go away. Now, is another fountain going to be replacing it? I think so, but it's going to be aesthetically Marn, like this Porto's, and it's going to look Marn,
Yeah.
and it's not going to be that kind of garden motique theming.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. Eventually, that fountain will be addressed. Eventually, either they're going to get rid of it completely, or like you're saying, they're going to update it to be more of a modern fountain. But all this garden stuff that they got going on, like even in the Esplanade with the leafy lanterns and all that stuff, that's all going to go. None of that's staying. You know, even like if you notice, like even throughout downtown Disney, the cement, like little seating, like they're planters, but they're also like seats.
Yeah.
They're shaped like leaves, essentially.
That's going away.
Even that, I think, is up for removal and remodeling. You know, so the downtown Disney is going to be completely different. In a decade from now, you probably won't even recognize most of it. It's gonna be crazy.
Threshold, maybe even more when those other locations open up. But when this opens up, then that will be a net positive, making downtown Disney able to handle even bigger crowds, which is basically the last thing that downtown Disney needs. Let's keep going. And it just started to rain, so we're going to take a shortcut through World of Disney. And what do you know, World of Disney, as crazy as always, the money this store must generate every day of the year is wild. If you think about it, Disney has created a business where people shop here every day out of the year at a hecticness that is typically only thought of during the holidays. But the holidays at Disneyland are 365. And we have made it through. And it looks like maybe it's stopped raining for the moment. California weather changes on the dime. Our next location is an alumni of downtown Disney that recently made the news, and not in a positive way. I've confessed several times on this channel that my weakness is sweets. And there was my favorite place in downtown Disney that went away a couple years ago. If you remember, right in this area over here is where Sprinkles Cupcakes used to reside. Now, Sprinkles Cupcakes were so good. And they had one of my favorite things, a treat that Beth could eat. They had a gluten-free chocolate chip cookie. It was maybe the best chocolate chip cookie I'd ever had, and by far the greatest chocolate chip gluten-free cookie that I'd ever had. Like, we absolutely love those things. And Sprinkles quietly just disappeared from downtown Disney a couple years ago. The main woman who started the company sold the company to private equity, and you know what they do, especially if you watch the channel Bright Sun Films. Jake over there does a great series called Bankrupt. And basically, after watching, I think, 50 of his episodes, all the stories are pretty similar. Not because he's a bad storyteller, but because there's a trend that happens and that these private equity groups, they buy companies, they basically rip out all their natural resources and gut them, let them bleed, take the money, and then close up shop. So the poor people that worked at Sprinkles got 1 day's notice that their job was being taken away at the end of a holiday season where I'm sure they would probably want to be with their family and friends, not put in the long hours.
Yeah, that actually happened to a job of mine. I had this job years ago. I was late teens, early 20s. I used to work at a hip hop clothing store for years. Yeah, like 3 or 4 years I worked there. It was my favorite job. To this day, it was my favorite job. And it was at my local mall, and it was like independently owned. So like we could play music in there, like loud, and like it was so much fun, dude. But I love that job. And we got bought out by Claire's, the girl, you know, the jewelry spot for like girls, you know, the earrings and all that. And within 2 years, our company went out of business, bro.
Wow.
I mean, they took all the uniqueness of that hip hop store, because it was independently owned. So they took all the uniqueness out of it. They started like, you know, like regulating the music, and it was like more like Kiss FM kind of music, where before it was like hip hop, dude. Like before when it was independent, dude, we were listening to Wu-Tang and Jadakiss and like Biggie, you know.
Dang.
Yeah, man. I mean, you could hear that shit all the way to Wetzel's Pretzels, bro. Like it was like we were now playing, and then Claire's buys us, and it's like, oh, here we go, you know. But yeah, it went out of business within 2 years, you know. So it happens, you know. It does. It sucks, but
in a bakery that was going to ditch them just days later and offered them 0 severance. So, you know, the thing we've talked about on the channel is kind of like how corporate America is squeezing the fun out of everything. I mean, happens at Disneyland. This is another sad example of this trend that I don't see going in reverse. Don't talk about politics, but we do talk about design on the channel, and we do talk about the theme parks and entertainment, and it's kind of hard not to acknowledge when these things happen. So my heart is with all the people that had a job at Sprinkles, and my heart really goes out to me, who's missing out on the best baked good that I could get at Disneyland. Because Disneyland's cupcakes always taste like they just came out of a refrigerator. They don't ever taste fresh. They don't ever taste fluffy or moist, a word a lot of people hate. But yeah, R.I.P. Sprinkles. But
Disneyland cupcakes taste like, you ever go to like the supermarket, like Vaughn's or Ralph's or whatever, and then you can walk and you can buy like the prepackaged cupcakes that are like sitting out there in like a plastic container or something.
Oh yeah.
That's what the Disneyland cupcakes taste like to me. Like supermarket cupcakes that you buy, you know?
Yeah, it's weird because when you bite into one, it's not even really just the muffin itself. It's the frosting. Yeah. It's not even soft. It's kind of like this
rubbery,
harder version of it. You could still bite through it with ease, but you get that kind of like crunch with the frost. And it's like, this is not supposed to be crunchy. This is not supposed to be hard. You're supposed to barely touch it with your lips and it falls apart. Not crunchy. It's weird.
No, it's very strange. Not the best.
Did get a sick soccer shop in the process, so not a total loss. One door closes, one door opens. Let's check out a new store that showed up just a few days before the holidays, and it's actually a brand that I highly recommend. One of their items, the Lululemon, opened over the course of the last month. I'm going to check it out for the first time, but
Now, a little fun fact about Lululemon: the CEO of this company actually sits on the Disney board of directors.
Oh, that is funny.
Yeah, so okay. I'm sure that had a little something to do with why they got a big spot here at Downtown Disney, you know. Colorblind.
First, I want to give a recommendation to the fellas out there. If you find yourself looking for a comfortable pant to, you know, wear around the house, wear around the neighborhood, and you don't want to wear something that looks like sweatpants, and you definitely don't want to wear something that looks like leggings, they have the ABC pant.
Hey.
And the ABC pant has...
Hey, Brickey, can a guy just wear leggings around the neighborhood? You know, come on, man. You know?
I'm not going to comment on that one.
A cut where the pants are cut just like a pair of jeans, but it uses their fabric, which is very soft, you know, sweat wicking, all the benefits. And I've ripped the crotch out of several of them. You just bring it back and they re-sew it. And if they can't sew it, they give you another pair of pants. So the ABC pant from Lululemon, like 100-something plus a pair. But I tell you, if you're looking for a comfortable pant that you can wear and it fits you like a pair of jeans, highly, highly recommend it. I only ever wear Levi's or the ABC pant. Not sponsored, just a product that I love. They wanted to give you that information in case you get brought in here and you don't think there's anything in here for you. There's some pretty good men's stuff. It is pretty big. Wow. Bigger than what I was imagining, but definitely not as huge as it could be. And for all the homies, these are the pants that I'm talking about right here. The ABC 5 pocket. That's the rig right there. Looks like a pair of Levi's.
Yeah.
It's got the fifth pocket.
Actually, they look more they look dressier than a jean even, you know?
Hey, I'm fine with that because I like dressing nice. So Brickey, thank you for that recommendation. I think I'm going to go buy a pair.
Yeah, no, these look great. You have these, you can rock these with like a nice button-up shirt, dude. Yeah, you look pretty good, you know? This is nice. Love it.
It's the scoop cut, not this one right here. If you have thick thighs like I do, it wings out. It has the proper C-shaped pocket. Highly, highly recommend these bad boys. But let me see what the price is.
Ouchie.
138. A little bit different than what I remember, but still worth it, I would say. And then it also becomes like, joggers and sweatpants, stuff like that. But, this I would wear to Starbucks around the house, but I don't think I'd wear it out in public. But the ABC pant, I've worn that in several videos, and people thought I was wearing jeans. So, pro tip. So is there a weird walkway on the outside of this, or is it just me? And then there are fitting rooms there in the back, trying to give everybody their privacy. But you can see it's a pretty big store, but nothing too fancy, like just your basic Lululemon. Got this logo stamped into the side of the entryway, which is pretty cool. One on the other side. I know a lot of people would say that this is a come down from the ESPN zone that used to be here, which was more like kind of an entertainment center. Hold on. What the hell did they do with this design? Okay, so there's planners here because they don't want you walking on this inner pathway that they made. Man, why would you waste that square footage? I mean, you pay by the foot, so why would you not use all of this space? Here's where I was at, looking at the logo, figuring out that there was more space on the other side. What's over here in the corner? Strollers and a dead end. What is that about, dude? That is so crazy because it's not even a fire exit. I just figured it out. I know exactly why this is here. It's all processing right now. Slow brain. So you can't hang merchandise on a window, so they had to put up a faux wall so they could have merchandise out here. But Disney didn't want them to black it out because then that would look horrible. But Disney also didn't want to change the shape of the building because it wasn't built for Lululemon. They're not like the forever clientele. Like they could come and go. You never know. I mean, sprinkles came and gone. So therefore, Disney wants the windows here, making it look busy and active, putting light and color into downtown Disney. So this is a compromise for a tenant that won't be here forever. I mean, who knows? They could be.
Well, and that's smart. And that's smart because one of the mistakes Disney has made when they initially built downtown Disney was, and look, I know it's cool. I know, like, the Rainforest Cafe looks super dope and,
Sure.
all that stuff. But these were buildings that were built, and even like the old Jazz Kitchen, the Ralph Brennan's, the old design, they were built with that one tenant in mind. So what happens when Rainforest Cafe as a company moves out or goes out of business? What happens when, Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen moves out, right? Now you're stuck with a building that was, with a giant saxophone, and it looks like New Orleans. It's very specific. Or you have a building that looks like an old Mayan temple. And now what do you do with that thing, right? This new approach to downtown Disney is creating stuff that looks aesthetically pleasing, but yet you can easily swap it out with something different if a vendor goes south, moves out, whatever. It's a smart move because, a lot of the themed stuff like the Rainforest Cafe, look how costly that is now. Now that's gone, and now they're probably gonna have to just rip it out eventually. I mean, unless they make it like something, I don't know, like an Indiana Jones bar would be kind of cool, but that's probably not going to happen. But the thing is that now you're stuck with this building that was very purpose built. And so they're going in this direction now where they're like, these kind of like these flex spaces, so to speak.
Yeah, because I kind of feel that even with Din Tai Fung.
Yeah.
Really,
yes, that's true.
Really beautiful building. Like, I mean, beautiful. But now you kind of limit yourself. If Din Tai Fung, after the contract's over with Disney, says, I don't want to renew anymore, you can only really sell that space to an Asian type, restaurant chain.
Right.
Or you just wasted all that money building it and you have to tear it to the ground and build something else. Now with this, I like where Brickey's going with this, because if you look at just this one column alone, I know there's other windows, but this one column alone with the top part, then you got kind of like that trim right there with the lighting and then the window. let's say Lululemon, eventually goes away as well. Let's say it doesn't last.
Right.
You can actually make these windows entranceways for different shops, and this old ESPN Zone building can actually serve a great purpose and be kind of like the Parkside Market, but with stores, and have like maybe 5 or 10 stores
Right.
in this building, utilizing this building. Because when you look at just the aesthetic here, and then you look at what David was calling during construction, the old Best Buy looking building as it was constructed, but we have D-Landers over there. We have the Avengers Vault over there, or not Vault, but is it Vault or Avengers Store?
Avengers Vault, I think, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
it is Vault. So you have that, and then actually next to D-Landers, once Earl Sandwich and the Gordon Ramsay restaurant opens in that space, they actually have another vacant space next to Earl, or next to D-Landers, where another tenant's going to be. And if you look at outside theming, like with that brickwork, the windows, like this kind of looks, they kind of matched it with both. So
Yeah.
I like what they did with this old ESPN Zone building. So I don't think this building's going to go away. I think it's going to serve a bigger purpose down the road with having many tenants utilize this building, because it's a 2-story building.
Oh, yeah.
When ESPN was still there. And I agree with you with the rainforest, very limited. You have to kind of either tear it to the ground and start over, or you can utilize it as an Indiana Jones themed restaurant and
Right.
bar. Or I was actually thinking about this, and George actually brought this up, and leaving today's podcast actually brought it up as well at some point with Mark and Udi. They mentioned, well, what if we turn the ESPN Zone building, we somehow we try to aesthetically change it a little bit to kind of get away from that Mayan theme. I think they could do it. It would be a nightmare, but they could do it, and turn that into kind of like a blue sky cellar type location, where on the second story building, or the second story of that building, you have all the displays for all the expansions for the Disneyland Resort, and
That'd be cool.
artwork. And on the bottom, you open that back up to where the square footage was for Rainforest when it was still around, and you kind of turn that into a small little conference area where it could probably seat about 100 people, and you have a small little stage with the like a little mini jumbotron on the wall, and you have events that you can sign up for, either as a D23 member or just sign up as a magic key holder, and you have Imagineers come in and host little little events here and there.
That'd be
That'd
great.
kinda cool.
Yeah.
So
And
that's another utilize of that space.
that's very, very cool. And big shout out to Mark and Uday from Leaving Today podcast. They're great, great guys. And they've been in this space for what now? For 10 years, they said? Something like that?
10 years.
10 years. Yeah. So we'll be collaborating with them more in the future. Absolutely. They're fun.
But this is a compromise, architecturally speaking, so that they can have their merchandise and Disney doesn't have to completely change this building, because who knows, if Lululemon left, each one of these bays could end up being a different store. My question is this, though: is Lululemon paying for that space? Are they paying for a strip that's like 3 foot, 4 foot wide, the entire length of their space, that they're clearly not going to be able to use? Now I got to go back in and look at the wall from the other side, because this is like fascinating architectural problem solving. See, there's the no plants, and then they have it bolted into the floor, bolted up into the ceiling. They have a frosted glass that's making me dizzy as I look through it, which will obviously let in natural light. but then it gives them the availability to hang merchandise all the way down this wall. That is fascinating. Oh, and they had to do it over here too, where they have their accessories. But this time they didn't have to give up as much space, just like this much space. Or technically, I could go in there and start doing the robot for everybody. Wild. As I was walking out, just heard a family, and I love listening to people when I'm at the park. A family just said, I wonder if they have exclusive Disney merch in there. And they don't, but it's confusing because the Disney store down here, Disneylanders, did have earlier in the year some exclusive Lululemon stuff, but I didn't see that in here. Just looked like your basic bitch Lou. So yeah, I bet they're going to get that question a lot. Probably something they should figure out, but then that gets into licensing and all the other weird stuff. All right, Downtown Disney, work in progress. Won't give my final opinion until everything's...
Yeah, I'm actually really supportive of this kind of flex space sort of motif where you can put anything into a mid-century building, right? Yeah. And we talked about this like just a second ago with, Rainforest Cafe is a very purpose-built building that causes a lot of logistical problems when that vendor moves out. But they broke their own rule, like you were saying, with Din Tai Fung. Because here I am praising them for doing this like kind of more, I don't want to say generic, because I think these buildings look cool, but generic, more like flexible. And then they go and they break their own rule and they build this super Chinese looking building, which looks dope, dude. I mean, Din Tai Fung looks amazing. But what do? Now you have another Rainforest Cafe, essentially, if Din Tai Fung decides to move out. So it's like another building now. It's a problem. So I don't know. It's crazy to me. It's been a little bit weird with the Downtown Disney stuff. For the most part, I've been really supportive of the decisions they've made. But Din Tai Fung, a great place. I haven't been to the one at Downtown Disney, but I've been to other locations. It's really good food. But the building, I thought they were getting away from the very specific building architectures, and apparently not. So at least not in that case. But again, here also you're dealing with third-party vendors who might make all kinds of demands. Hey, well, if we're going to have if we're going to do this, we need this, that, and the other. So to be fair to Disney, there might have been some, Din Tai Fung kind of demands to whatever. But
hey, I'm going to tell you right now, Din Tai Fung, though, since you haven't been to the Downtown Disney location, I haven't either. Future bar chat, it's awaiting.
Let's do it. Let's absolutely do it. Actually, I just ordered fun fact, a little behind the scenes fun fact. I just ordered some better microphones.
Ooh, there we go.
For the bar chats. I just ordered them. They should come in about a week. Because I didn't know when I started doing the bar chats, I've always loved doing the bar chats. But I didn't know I was going to do them as often as I do them. Honestly, I thought maybe like once a month, but I've been doing them like once a week. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to invest in like some better mics because the better mics block out a lot of the background noise better. Our good friend Thrilla B, who's been in 2 of my bar chats now, he got me, he put me up on these great mics that he has that he's been using that really, really minimize the background noise. So I ordered those. So yeah, we'll see. But I figured, you know what? If I'm going to do bar chats, more in-park stuff, more on-location stuff, it's good to have a better set of mics. I was rocking these like $20 mics before, and they're cool. They do the job, but it's time to upgrade.
Done to be polite to the creatives who are doing it, but I will say this. I feel like it's going in a very, very weird side direction that wasn't what they set out to do when they first did this. And by the way, if you want to watch a video of mine that explains kind of how all of this got to be here, you want to watch the video I did about the hotel that was going to be built here, how that plan got canceled, and how that basically ended up reshaping the entire future of Downtown Disney. Like Disney's greed kind of got them into a place where they're like, damn, now we have to redo Downtown Disney. And I don't know if they would have done that if they didn't get the hotel bid. All right, let's keep going. There's more to explore, but this time it's out of the park. Ooh, I just flew too close to the sun. Got stopped by security. What are you filming? Filming the Little Lemon. And it was over my shoulder the entire time. I never filmed security. I always tell you guys that I take extra precautions to be polite on this channel. And some people in the comments will be like, oh, you could film that. Trust me, I know the rules. I'm always going to stay well within them. Never, ever want to cause any problems for Disney. So sometimes I'm a little bit maybe over precautious, but I'd rather play it safe. For example, on the other side of me is the beautiful downtown Disney lights that I never have filmed, because to do that, I'd be filming security. I love the way that it looks, and I hate that I don't have that in my archive of footage. I was also going to check out the current state of the Earl of Sandwedge, but after I got stopped by security, I got mentally derailed and just went out the Disneyland hotel exit. So we'll check that out the next time. All right, our next destination is going to be up here on Disneyland Drive. Might get a little dark, probably going to get a little bit loud, but I've heard that there's some activity happening over here, which when this activity starts, that means it's the beginning of Coco coming to the resort. So definitely have been following the progress of that for quite some time. Excited to see how that all comes together. Because really, in this upcoming year, I anticipate that we will see movement on Coco. We'll see movement on the Eastern Gateway parking garage, which will then spill over into the bus pickup drop-off zone. Going to be kind of a hectic year. And I bet a portion of this they want to get done in time for the Olympics, which right now it feels like LA is slacking on its Olympic preparations. Like, they got a lot to do in a short window of time. Like, the Olympics happened in my neighborhood, and they were just dragging their heels on all the things that they announced. So we'll see. It's going to go down to the wire. So we are crossing the street where you get into the hotels. And I think I want to walk on this side of the street, even though it's going to be dark. Because if there's anything to see, I feel like I'll be able to see it better from a distance. Not a major upgrade, but a little bit of Pixar fun that showed up out front here with these little memory balls. I know that originally they wanted to put the actual Pixar balls on the front of the hotel, but that got denied by the city of Anaheim. I do feel like, though, that this hotel needs something magical at the top of it that really sets it off when you're walking through the Pixar Pier area. I'm so busy this holiday season and never made this part of my holiday exploration, but man, oh man, the blue Pixar Christmas tree is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea this was a Christmas tree stroll, not scroll. There is a Coco Christmas tree. Little 2026 celebrational piece here to mark off the New Year's. By the way, hope everybody had a happy and safe New Year. Here is a Inside Out themed Christmas tree, purple tree with all the little different colors. Enjoy this spiky one right here. Wouldn't be Pixar without a Cars Christmas tree. This one's very, very cool looking. Love the Lightning McQueen.
Actually, these trees are pretty cool. They did a very, very good job of these trees. Actually, the Pixar Place Hotel, Mr. Webba and I, shout out to Mr. Webba, by the way, but Mr. Webba and I, we actually recently, maybe a few months ago, I think like over the summertime, we went in here and we kind of like looked around. It's not a bad hotel. It's not that bad. And they did a good job kind of retheming it, remodeling it. It's better than most people kind of give it shit for, you know? It's not too shabby.
No, it's not, because I took Tommy in here before we tried out the Great Maple, and shout out to Tommy Toon World because he loves doing food reviews. He's amazing at it. But we were walking around. He's like, my God, I might actually have to stay here. I love this lobby. I love what they did. And actually, from what it was originally, this is a massive upgrade. I love how modern it looks in here because I'm a modern guy. I like nostalgia, but I like modern better. So I love the feel inside this hotel. And then going back to what Brickey said just before he walked in about having the Pixar balls on the actual hotel and Anaheim denying that.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever hearing about that. So I don't know if that was something that was kind of kept quiet or it was announced and just no one caught on. But shout out to Brickey for bringing that to light because I didn't even know that.
No, me neither. That's interesting that they would deny that. I'm not really sure why, but it goes to show you how fickle sometimes the city can be. You know, not just Anaheim, but just in general. These, the permitting and all that stuff gets really weird sometimes.
Sure.
Ornament there, and then the black ornament with the tire tracks over it, and then not sure what's happening, but all of this is scrimmed off. I don't know the name of this one. I can't. What is his name? Emilio? No, that's not it. I know I'm wrong. But I know it's named something like that. I'm going to assume that this is Ratatouille because of the vegetables. Oh, yeah. There he is. Bonjour, Remy. Now, unfortunately, the Toy Story tree is behind this couch. But you can see they've got the Mr. Potato Head ornament, the cow print ornament, as well as Buzz Woody colors. And check that out. The green drum for the Army Men. Love that. Speaking of changes in the new year, Monsters, Inc. will be going away this year. Met a lot of people over the last month that came out for the holiday season that were trying to get in their last rip. So it's going to be bittersweet to see the gang go, but excited to see the Hollywood backlot finally get a refurbishment because it has looked rough for quite some time. Oh, how cool is this Incredibles? Red tree, black ornaments, hair slick back, sloppy steaks. Absolutely love this one. And they got the Incredible logo as their star on the tree. Man, makes me want to set Jack Num Nums out for Santa Claus. And then over here in the corner where they have the jazz singer play.
Beautiful.
This movie is escaping my name. Soul. I believe it's Soul.
That was a good Disney movie.
Inspired
It was.
Here, where you can sometimes catch the piano player. Love the music notes on the tree. And these trees are awesome. I had no idea that there was so much holiday fun in the Pixar Place Hotel. That was cool. That's not why we came here, but I do see more holiday magic. Look at these cool wreaths. That was very cool. That was fun. A little bit of last minute holiday discovery. You know I'm down for it. I'm currently walking along the backstage area of Paradise Gardens, where they have the pizza establishment, Boardwalk Pizza, and all of that. So we won't really be where Coco's going until we cross Downtown Drive. Downtown Drive. Every time I see it, I just hear the way that the little crossing walk machine says, "Oh yeah, we got action. Hell yeah, we got action. We got a new attraction coming to the park. Yeah, baby, we're doing it. It's happening." What a Christmas gift. Again, not my full coverage. That will come in days probably. But wanted to take a walk, catch up, see the activity. And there is a lot of activity. And I'm so glad that I filmed all the before shots. So when I do my actual video, we can look at the after. But the backstage entrance completely zoned out. Half of the hidden Mickey completely covered.
Yeah.
And the sidewalk is out.
And we've talked about it before, but they're maximizing every square inch to fit this Coco ride. I mean, they're moving it right out to the sidewalk. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
On the eastern side of the street. So friends, it has begun. New ride, new attraction, new construction, so much to cover. Oh, it's going to be a good year. Shouldn't say that. I don't want to curse myself. So I'm going to stand on this little island. And by the way, shout out to Nike for these waterproof Air Force Ones. They got me all through Europe without ever getting a wet foot once. So great weather shoe. Stylish looking shoe. Just waiting for these cars to move so we can get back to talking about the construction as I sit on this little island in the middle of the road to do my exciting coverage, hoping to get a break in the traffic so I can kind of get some clear nighttime shots of this. but I must look like a complete maniac to everybody driving by. Here we go. Here we go. We got it, baby. Look at that.
I love it.
All sidewalk taken out.
Wow.
And they're going to start clearing trees. And once they clear the trees, we'll get a better idea of how big this is going to be, and particularly when we get down to Catella. So I was just standing on the edge of the sidewalk, and now I'm walking away from the road. And what I'm doing is I'm walking on one of Mickey's ears, because there's a giant hidden Mickey that you can only see from a satellite.
And that's another thing that we talked about in this video earlier on. Michael Eisner was so into the mouse ears, because even if you look at like old school, like the Walt Disney era, when Walt was still alive,
Yeah.
he didn't do that. He didn't put a bunch of mouse ears everywhere, you know, and that's fine. It was the 90s Eisner thing.
Sure.
And it defined a generation in a lot of ways, but I'm okay with losing a lot of that stuff. I think Eisner went a little too far with it, and this is a perfect example of going way too far with it. You know, like I said before, much rather have a better Coco ride than have this little novelty that you can only see from either Google Maps or from a helicopter. You know, so yeah, good riddance. Cool little touch, but I'm not gonna miss it.
But it's going to be half of a hidden Mickey once the construction comes. So does this half go away, or is it just forever half a Mickey? Who knows? I'm curious about how all of this is going to take shape down at Catella. That will be the real reveal. And I'm a little bummed out that they removed the Coco's restaurant that almost was across from Coco's, the boat ride. It is pretty dark over here. But I would say, as somebody who lives locally, this is...
And I don't know, but I think Coco's, there used to be a lot of Coco's in my area, the bakery.
Yeah.
And I don't really, I mean, I feel like it's like Coco's, Marie Callender's, all these kind of places, like the similar kind of places are just gone. Like I know Marie Callender's, I think they went completely out of business. I'm pretty sure Coco's did too.
Yeah, Coco's definitely went out of business as far as I know. Marie Callender's, I don't even think you could find one, but they do still collaborate with a lot of the grocery store chains like Costco, because we do still carry Marie Callender's products.
Okay, so they're doing more like gotcha. So they're doing more like products like, you know, like the frozen food section stuff kind of thing.
And canned food. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's sad. A lot of that stuff is going away. It's kind of, you know, those places though, Marie Callender's, Coco's are kind of like the boomer generation.
Oh, by far.
Yeah, boomer, like old ladies love it, you know, and all that. And I just don't think the new, like younger gens, I don't think they ever really got as into it. But yeah, c'est la vie. Time marches on.
By far the safer side of the resort to walk around late at night by yourself. All right, the fencing goes all the way up to the corner. When I did my coverage earlier in the year, I filmed all of that to show you how much space was there. Now, I'm not going to put that historic B-roll in this video. This is just a walk and talk with friends. But coming up soon, I will show you again the before, so this after makes even more sense to you. And oh, they left a little space on the corner. Oh shit! Of Catella. It was this jump ramp right here that I got going on.
Almost ate it.
I'm having a good time. It was so packed in the park. It was hard to film. But man, I love talking about Disneyland. I love being back home. Love doing all this with you guys. So if you're having a good time, hit subscribe. Since I'm not in the park, I can tell you in my video, I have a shop. Hey, Brickey.
Yeah, subscribe to the Brickey vlog, because I think sometimes people don't realize there's two Brickey channels.
There is.
So there's the main channel, Hey Brickey, right? But there's also this channel, which is the Brickey vlog. So make sure you're subscribed to both. So show some love, and obviously I'm going to link it down below. You know, but yeah. Brickey does amazing content. That's why we're constantly reacting to Brickey, you know, because he taps into that nerdy shit we love, you know. So
hey, how many people can you honestly say so far since we're reacting to his video and what we've seen so far, how many people would literally walk into a Lululemon at downtown Disney just to film, hey, look at these are the pants I wear, and then he walks outside and says, wait a second, why is there a void of a walkway inside the store? And then, sitting there walking in the Pixar Powell Hotel, looking at all the Christmas trees, and now doing this. It's like it's very unique, and I love that about Brickey, and I even love that about David too. They're
Yeah,
both
absolutely. I love that stuff. Absolutely. Is this stuff that, like, as fans, we've been doing our whole lives and following these projects, but now in the new social media age with like YouTube and what have you, we can have like-minded people like myself, you, Brickey, Dave, all of us little nerds. Now we can come together and really talk about this shit. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't have that when I was a kid. We didn't have like the social media we have nowadays. So if you were into this stuff, you were kind of alone on that. Because good luck finding a homie in school that was into, the construction stuff. It's not going to find it. But now at the age of the internet, man, we roll deep.
Brickey.com. If you like the hats that I wear, I always wear my own hats in the videos. You can grab one and support the Brickey family. Don't get me wrong. Finley's is a great establishment, but there used to be a Coco's there that was almost across from Coco's. Anyways, as I was saying, heybrickey.com. Every hat you see me wear is always available over on my shop. They're all designed by me, packaged and shipped out by Beth. Truly a family business. So if you like the content and you ever want to support the content but get something in return other than the videos, make sure you grab yourself a hat over at heybrickey.com.
I got to get me a hat. Me a hat. Yeah, we got to do that, brother. We got to get a hat. Actually, I was watching some Adam the Woo, and I saw Adam was rocking the yellow one with the 55 on it.
Ooh,
and some of his, I love that one. I might get that one, but I want to support. Brickey's a good friend, and I want to get some. Yeah, we got to get some Brickey gear, bro.
Even more merchandise coming this year. We also have some patches. Keep a lookout on the website. Going to be making a lot more merch this year, as leaning all into this more aggressively, because I'm having such a great time. Things are growing. I'm having fun. The audience is having fun. It all feels like it's on the way up. So I just want to thank everybody for such an amazing year. And I'm having fun tonight because it feels like the beginning of the next one. Even though this is like a soft opening, looking at all these projects, I got that warm in my heart of, whoa, it's empty now.
It's just classic Brickey. I love this.
So we're gonna cross here. I'll give you a better idea of where the sidewalk closes. But this just gives you an idea. They've got all of that fenced off. So the Coco is going to for sure go well into the backstage area of the Pixar Pier. Now, they didn't cut the corner super tight, which that's going to make me curious about how they work the service road, but we'll get into that later. Foiled again. We can't go any further. You can kind of see that the service road is right through there. And then all of these trees, a lot of trees, are outside of the Fern. Was it Fern Valley? Fern Gully? What was that? What was that cartoon in the 90s where like that giant machine was?
It was Fern Gully, which is ironically is now a Disney movie because it was Fox Animation.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. Man, that movie was old.
Just eating the forest. Fern Gully. I think Fern Valley is a neighborhood back home in Louisville. There you go. That service road they have to preserve. Where that service road entrance starts and stops, that's going to tell us a lot about our future. Now, friends, I parked over in the Toy Story parking lot. So when I told you we were taking the long way out, I was not over exaggerating, but I just wanted to see all the new things that they got up to. The Lululemon. I'm not wrapping up the video, so don't leave me. The Lululemon, the Portos, the Cocos, surprise Christmas trees. But now is the most bizarre part of the walk back. It's time for a garden walk soft update, and maybe even an Avengers Campus if we can see it. Oh man, I'm having a lot of fun. So as I'm walking, I'm peering through what I can see of the backstage service road. They're going to keep that road. They have to keep that road. But where it connects over at Disneyland Drive, how they re-navigate that road, that's going to tell us everything that we need to know. Not only about Coco coming, but also parades staying.
Yes.
So there's going to be a lot of forensic design research.
And I've talked to Brickey about this before, and he in the past, I don't know if his opinion has changed, but he's in the past has told me he's pretty confident parades will stay. I'm not as confident, and the reason why, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because I'm a vibes guy, and parades are all about the vibe, right? It adds so much kinetic energy to the park and everything. It's great. I'm just a little bit nervous because Disney doesn't have a great track record with parades as secondary parks.
Definitely.
Right? When you go to Florida, you're going to see this. I mean, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood, I don't think any of them have parades really right now. Now, the saving grace for DCA is Oogie Boogie Bash is a huge moneymaker for Disney, and there's a parade element to that celebration or that after hours event. So it's possible they keep the parade for things like that. I don't know though, man. That parade building is pretty big, and that's going to cut into the space for this attraction. And parades really have never really been DCA's strong point. I can't think of too many parades at DCA that I'm like, wow, that was a classic. Like, they're all typically are kind of cheap. I used to love the Block Party Bash, but it's a cheap ass parade. It looked super cheap. I mean, maybe the first like Eureka was pretty cool, but for the most part, the parades haven't been that solid at DCA. I don't know, man. I'm iffy on it. We'll see what happens. We'll see if Disney wants to continue with the parades at this park. Maybe they won't. Also, the Avatar thing might impact that, because that's also very close to the parade route over there at the other end. We'll see. I don't know. It's a huge question mark.
On our horizon. Look how far we have traveled, and we are the only ones on the sidewalk. But I do see a bikie gang up ahead. Yeah, it is really, really quiet over here. It's never Disneyland Drive or Catella that I worry about people walking back to their hotels when they come to Disneyland as a local. It's Harbor.
Yes. Well, and here's the thing. Almost exactly a year ago, actually, to this day, we had the LA fires, and I got evacuated from my home during those fires. And we actually ended up staying at the Westin, which is right over here, you know? And so I did a lot of walking up and down this street last year, because we stayed there for like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 days, something like that. And yeah, it's pretty nice, but he's right, and he'll get into it. But as you go further,
Harbor is like the Wild West.
Oh, dude, it's like Mad Max over there, you know? It's it's crazy.
I have seen some disturbing things happen over on Harbor. Harbor has more businesses. It has a lot more people walking and flowing through it. So it gives people the availability to, know that if they want to do something mischievous, that there'll be people there to sort of take advantage of. So just a little FYI, somebody who's in the area, comes here a lot, and definitely doesn't want to walk down Harbor at night by myself with all my expensive cameras.
The 7-Eleven particularly.
Yeah, I know really, exactly.
Oh, God, that is a bad location, bro. That's a rough one, dude. Like, oh, man.
I went there one time, and this was after hanging out with you guys at Disneyland, and I had to drive back, and I'm like, I need an energy drink or something. I went there, dude, and I'm not even kidding you. I have never felt more scared in my life going to that 7-Eleven than any other spot. And I'm talking even worse than Halloween Horror Nights. I'm like, wow. I park, and there's all these like sketchy kind of like people that look like they want to rob you. Then there's like a drug deal going down. It's like, what in the hell is going on here, man?
It's bad.
Sketchy as hell.
Oh, it's very sketch. Super sketch over there. Actually, it's funny. Mr. Webb and I, we stayed at a hotel back in July, I believe. over by Knott's, actually, though, in Buena Park. The Motel 6 in Buena Park.
Sure.
Now, Webb and I had a great time. We had a blast. It was a lot of fun. But man, our hotel, because we're used to the Anaheim main gate Motel 6, thinking, oh, okay, it's that one's nice. This one's probably gonna be comparable, just as nice. No. That Buena Park one, dude, I'm telling you, dude, it's a whole other beast. It's a whole other beast, man. That thing was wild, man. We would come out to the car and there'd be like random things like in the parking lot. Like there was a huge Tupperware, which is spaghetti, just spilt all over the parking lot. We walked out in the morning. I was like, what happened here? This is it just left there. Just crazy shit, dude. It was just like, but there were like at night, dude, it got real rough. Like we were like sitting in the hotel room and all you see are like cop car lights. Woo, 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 woo. Just going back and forth all night, bro. And I'm like, oh man. Yeah, it was rough. It was not a good area.
Equipment, but this is trash DGI day, so who cares? Take it. Just leave me with my SD card. And keep in mind, as we do this walk, we are walking from basically Boardwalk Pizza all the way over to Tower of Terror Mission Breakout. No, that's not right. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. Do you like that combo? So essentially, when you walk this, you're walking from the furthest west.
There's something so contagious about Brickey's laugh.
Him and David, dude. Both of them.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, like when he this is the way he does it, dude. It's just like you can't help but laugh. It's hilarious.
Eastern end of DCA to the furthest eastern end. And it is so much faster when it's both a straight line and not crowded with people. You can really book to the other side. Like we're doing this pretty fast. And then right across from us is the Anaheim Convention Center, where they do D23 every other year. Well, parts of it. Now it's gotten so big that it also extends over to the Honda Center, which is transforming into part of LA Live. So, for folks that don't know the area, this is the walking path that we're on. So for sure, taking the long way. The first business that you roll up onto is
that OC Vibe over there, which is supposed to be like an entertainment, like retail dining complex. Man, right next to Honda Center, when they have those D23 events at that Honda Center, that OC Vibe is going to make buckets of money, dude. You're going to have, you're going to have all those Disney fans going over there to get drinks and hang out. Dude, it's going to make a boatload. All they have to do, though, is fill that space with really good vendors, like cool bars, maybe even like a cool little nightclub or something, some cool restaurants. And dude, I'm telling you, that spot can really do a lot, man. I mean, there's a lot of potential with that. Yeah.
The Alpine Inn, it definitely does its part to feel theme park adjacent. So the Alpine Inn, Candy Cane Inn, a couple of these hotels actually sit inside the same footprint of DCA. Their owners would not sell. And what a smart move. And there's also,
I'm telling you though, man, if I owned one of these, dude, I would, man, I'm telling you, you could probably, what Disney would pay you, you could probably live off your rest of your life, dude.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I mean, this close to Disney property, they're clamoring to get their hands on any of these, and I don't know, I would probably just sell and just retire,
So a little car rental place here. And last I remember, the car rental place is directly behind Avengers Campus. But I don't think we can see anything over this ginormous wall. At least not when we're walking on the DCA side of the road. Desert Palms Hotel was clearly visible once they started working on Avengers Campus. It was crazy how you could look over and see this. And this will get us up to the 7-Eleven at Harbor.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. We missed Garden Walk. Garden Walk's this way, and I'm parked that way. I totally forgot that the entryway to Garden Walk is basically aligned with Guardians Mission Breakout. So if you were to just over that wall and go straight, that's where garden walk begins, and then it ends straight up across, or straight up ahead of me, because across the street is where the Toy Story parking lot begins. So in a not too far off future, my prediction for some time has been garden walk.
Now, here's a funny thing. Speaking of garden walk, right? Okay, so we used to stay at the Anaheim main gate. Have you stayed there? Anaheim main gate?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay. You probably will. I know George loves to stay there. It's actually a really, really good hotel. Or motel, I guess. I've always enjoyed it. I've stayed there several times now. But here's the thing. Walking back from the park, right? If you like let's say it's like a Friday night, okay?
Sure.
And it's like 12:30 at night, and like I'm at the park all day long. And you know me, I'm not like a night person, bro. And I'm walking back. We're walking down that street, and we're gonna pass Garden Walk. And I'm feeling beat up. My feet hurt. My hair is not even looking good anymore. It's all down, right? Like I'm just like beat. I like it looks like I went through like like war. You know what I'm saying? And you walk and I like just beaten up, right? And exhausted. Okay. And you're walking past this garden walk, and right at the edge when you walk by, there's a Heat Lounge nightclub.
Yeah.
And I'm walking by, dude. I'm like limping. I feel like I'm a mess, bro. And there's all these baddies, bro. Like that club. I don't know. It's that club is Battyville, USA. It is crazy, dude. I'm telling you, we saw so many Latina baddies over there. It was wild. But it's funny because we're walking and like we're all like, we're like fucking like filthy, and we got like chlorinated theme park water all over us, and we just feel like crap. We're limping, we got blisters, and all these baddies walk by. Oh man, of course. But anyway, when you stay there, you'll see what I'm talking about. If you walk by like on a Friday night or a Saturday night, it's crazy. You're a single guy, conductor, mingle, come on.
There you go.
Come
Mrs.
on.
Conductor is waiting.
You never know, bro. You might meet Mrs. Conductor coming out the Heat
go.
Lounge as you're walking to the Motel 6.
Theme park, Toy Story becomes theme park. I'm actually going to break down what I think that theme is, or what it's going to be very soon. But eventually you will be able to park in the new parking garage that they'll start this year. And then you'll have the decision of, do you want to cross harbor and go to DCA and Disneyland, or do you want to go south and go into park number 3? And I don't overhype these things. Literally, as soon as I got to the corner of harbor, I saw 2 people that looked like they would murder me, given the chance. And I come from a world where you don't judge books by their cover, but some people do put your spidey senses up, especially when they have dead zombie eyes. So
dead zombie eyes, dude. I love Brickey is amazing, but dude, there is actually, it's kind of funny. There is actually a CVS not too far from my house. It's a 24-hour CVS. Okay. This CVS, dude, if you go at night, like if I were to go like right now, like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, like that is, it's like Mad Max, bro. Like you go, it's crazy. Like there's all like the people outside of the CVS it's uncomfortable, bro, to even walk into that CVS. Like you're afraid you're gonna get like you were saying, like murdered or something. But they have like security guards and everything, like pretty significant like presence, but it doesn't really help, dude. Like, sometimes some of these places, man, it's scary, but I don't know. It's crazy. But that CVS in particular, I avoid it. Now during the day, it's fine. During the day, it's absolutely fine. There's no issue at all. You go at night though, dude, it changes completely.
Not overhyping, where I would suggest and not suggest walking around the Christmas tree. Love the Christmas music still playing. When I was in the park earlier today, it was so packed, so hard to do what I wanted to do because I don't want to interfere with anybody's time at Disneyland. So I'm always trying to put myself off to the side, trying to film my B-roll with not a lot of people around me. And it just felt like the hardest thing ever. Because, with the Hey Brickey channel, I make evergreen videos, and I try really, really hard to make something that you could watch this Saturday or 10 years from now, and it still holds up. So it's a tremendous amount of like pressure and stress to try to make these perfect videos and, deliver something that's well thought out, well researched, and basically edited for strangers, people with short attention spans that don't know who I can click on the video, and hopefully after they watch one or two, I can get lucky. And they
real
decide.
quick on a tangent. Isn't that where we stayed for the timeshare, Wyndham?
I thought it was Wyndham, but I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was. And that timeshare was phenomenal. I know George had the suite with the 2 or 3 bedrooms, but where me and Tommy stayed at, I love hotels that have like a little living room, the bedrooms, bathrooms, and then you have a little kitchen.
Oh yeah.
Because that's one thing I really like staying at a hotel is that capability. So if I don't want to go out and eat and I just want to just kind of just take an off day just to kind of relax, sleep in, and I want to make breakfast and whatnot, I have that capability. Because sometimes, eating at the park or eating at any of the food locations surrounding a theme park like Disneyland or Universal, you'll see it. Prices go up.
Oh,
Because they
absolutely.
can justify it. So
100%. Yep.
They like me and they want to go on the voyage with me. But as soon as I wrapped up that project, set at the Main Street train station to reboot, it was like it all just got effortless. Like walking through downtown Disney, shooting all this weird stuff that's not covered in people, leaving the park, finding the Christmas trees. Like there's just a looseness to doing the vlog that I really, really enjoy. Don't get me wrong. I love the structure of the other channel and I love the challenge, but I love the looseness over here. So thanks for being.
Yeah, no, I feel what you're saying actually. As a content creator too, like I like casual looseness as well. Like when we do this stuff, right? Like the content for OG55 and even for your channel, Conductor, right? Like it's very conversational, very laid back, very like, and I like that. I like that a lot. The talks that we have on the channel are not too dissimilar from the talks that you and I would have on the phone, or the talks that you and I have when we're in the parks together or something, and it's really fun. It's really, really fun. So yeah,
definitely.
My friend, without you, it wouldn't be possible. All right, I promised a little garden walk. I shall give a little.
Are you ready for some baddies, Conductor? You're gonna.
I am. If he captures it, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm telling you, bro.
Garden walk. Let's see what it looks like on a Friday night when, on a weekend night when people should be out and about hanging out at a mall. Will it be as empty as it is when I come through here after filming in the park on my early morning starts? All right. There's definitely more people we've seen in a long time. Yeah. Not totally slammed, but way more people than what we normally see. Still has a very interesting assortment of clientele.
I want to go in
stores through here.
I think I'm going to do that.
Which is something that
you're going to check this one out.
Yeah, I think when I'm at the resort on Thursday, because I'm going to do some coverage, I think I'm going to stop here.
Yeah,
it looks like they have some cool stuff in there.
No, it does. It does. And Brickey brought up the interesting clientele and the vendors or what have you. And I feel like Garden Walk, when they built it, they thought of this space as sort of like a downtown Disney or like a high-end mall, basically, right?
Sure.
But I think they really fell on hard times. And I think now it's like, like there's all these like more like almost like souvenir shops you would see on Harbor almost. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I feel like they're desperate to fill the spaces up, and I understand that. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just, I feel like what Garden Walk has turned into is not what the original mission statement was for this mall. So
no, by far.
Yeah.
I need to explore more because I feel like documenting this place is only going to really pay off in the future when whatever happens next. There's a Pop Mart vending machine here. It has all kinds of items in it if you like to gamble. For a while, this used to be a salad vending machine where you could buy a salad. In the short time that I went to use the restroom, it just started to rain, and it's raining pretty hard. which makes me happy that I brought the DJI out because this camera I can break down and fit in my pocket in between shots. Yeah, it's coming down. Check out this budget sign here. Welcome to STC Garden Walk. But it is like a mesh of pixels. It is the most hilarious digital display I've ever seen. There's something about a rainy weekend night that just makes me want to eat. Makes me want to go out to eat so bad. Like I've never seen Cheesecake Factory look so delicious than just like going in there on a rainy weekend night. Feels like that's when you're supposed to go out to eat. Going to cut our garden walk coverage short. Need to head over to the Toy Story parking lot, get to my car, go put the camera in my pocket. We'll say goodbye to you over there just in case anything else fun pops up. This is called closing language. You're not supposed to do this. You're supposed to sneak up. Let people go, this is the end of the video. All the videos, oh, no, it's not, there's more. So shouldn't use closing language, but just having a good time and don't want to officially say goodbye until the night's over, till I get over to my car at Toy Story. If you are down.
So what he's saying is good night, everybody. We'll see you later. Thank you, conductor, for joining. No, I was kidding.
You'll make it to the last clip. And if you make it to the last clip, then you'll get the secret code word to let me know that you made it to the end. Switched over to iPhone so I don't break any equipment. Because even though I talk smack about the DJI, it does come in handy. Okay, here's the deal. Videos like tonight, they don't have like strong SEO. I'm not going deep and breaking down things, kind of not, you know, going into the weeds about stuff. But I tell you what I do. These are the nights where this is really, really fun. And I feel like I'm hanging out with a friend. And I just can't thank you enough for that. You know, it's been a rough holiday season, feeling a little emotional, started a new year. My heart is just full of gratitude because all of this is just starting to work. And I know that the people that watch videos like this, you are my people, you are my friends. You don't just show up when you think that there's something in there for you. You show up because we're buds and we go on these adventures together and we have a good time together. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for making it till the end. Thank you for going on these adventures with me. Thank you for spending last year with me. This is my car. My watch accidentally opened up my frunk. So my frunk has been open the whole time. But, you know, where's the light at? Thank you so much for going on these adventures with me. I really, really appreciate it. Code word, Coco Christmas tree. If you say Coco Christmas tree, then I know you made it to the end. I know you're my homie. I know you're would be a ride or die. It'd be like a clicker. No, not a clicker die. We'll just call it a friend. So anyways, thank you so much. Weird, fun night at the Disneyland Resort. Yeah. You know what? Strike that. 2 beverages. The code is 2 beverages because that was the big reveal. You didn't know that Brickey was carrying 2 beverages. Thank you so much for showing up. I know this has been a lot of nonsense. I had a lot of fun. Hope you did too. Soaked. I'll see you tomorrow. Man, do I appreciate you. And man, do I value our friendship. Thank you for being a friend. And
yeah, no, we love Brickey. Brickey is awesome. And everybody make sure you subscribe to Brickey Vlog. Link or the info down below. Conductor, I want to thank you too, brother. It's been a long video. This is a marathon video. You, myself, and Bowser and Boba Fett, we had a journey together today.
We did.
we reacted to 2 great content creators. We got Brickey, we got Dave. It was a lot of fun. But Conductor, where can everybody find you on social media, sir?
Absolutely. And I want to give a big shout out to Orange Grove 55 for always being an amazing host. And a shout out to David from Fresh Baked and Brickey. And, you know, to kind of extend a little bit to Brickey, it has been a very emotional holiday season, losing a dear friend in our space. We always remember Adam, but just know, Brickey, if you ever do watch this video, I love and support you 100,000,000%. You are awesome. I love your Brickey vlogs. I love your Hey Brickey channel. And my gosh, I cannot wait to have you on Conductor Sunday live stream and to do future content with you because believe me, every day we wake up and we get to enjoy reacting to your videos, to David's videos from Fresh Baked, and just living the life that we live every single day is a blessing. So thank you to Orange Go 55, to Brickey, to David from Fresh Baked, and everybody that watches our content in our space. But like Orange Go 55 says, I'm Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on YouTube and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor, on Instagram at theme_park_conductor, on X at Theme Conductor, TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1, and every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we break down Disney and Universal news. We speculate, we talk rumors, we have amazing guests like the one and only Orange Go 55, and so many others where we interact with the chat interacts with us. And programming note, we will have Orange Go 55 and Sam Chat this coming Sunday. Can't wait for that one. And to let everyone know, also another programming note, a new video on the members only for Theme Park Conductor is live now on the channel, and it will be at the Disneyland Resort this coming Thursday. So if you see me, please come say hello.
There he is. And before we get out of here, I want to share the lovely, the one and only Miss Me Fan. She is the lovely gal who does the outro of all of our videos here at OG55. We love Mimi Fan. If you're looking for great food spots in LA, OC, fun spots to go, whatever it may be, she is your girl. Make sure you check her out in the description down below. Her Instagram, her YouTube. You can check her out. She will get you into all the great spots. Really, this is a great burrito spot, but she goes to Korean barbecue, Vietnamese places, even fun like little knickknack toy shops where they sell like black boxes of like anime characters and stuff like that. She's awesome. So make sure you support the one, the only Miss Mimi Fan. And then one more thing before we get out of here, we have our good friend Jared from Capture the Magic. He's got a nerdy t-shirt shop. Make sure you check it out and get yourself a nice little nerdy t-shirt like a Super Nintendo or an Isla Burke. If you use promo code OG55, you will get 10% off on your purchase, like this great shirt here, Epic Universe. And you can look ripped like Jared, and you want to look ripped like Jared. You want to be sexy like Jared. So get one, get one of his shirts, promo code OG55. So big shout out to Jared. Big shout out to the one and only Miss Mimi Fan. I want to thank everybody for joining today, this episode of OG55. And until next time, see you.
Thank you so much for watching OG55. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and become a member today.